by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
High winds and heavy rains are slamming Hawaii as Hurricane Lane passes the islands. I'm Laura Podesta. I'll have the latest on the damage and what residents can expect in the coming hours.
And Montana Tech in Butte takes a step to head off possible cheating on academics. Coming up, learn what's being done to prevent another scandal like the one that rocked the school 2 years ago.
6:30 on this Friday. Chet Lehman, Missy O'Malley with you. Matt has our weekend forecast in a moment. Meantime, weather topping this half hour. Hawaii now bracing for Hurricane Lane, the biggest storm to hit the state in decades.
That's right. CBS's Laura Podesta is in New York with our latest.
As Hurricane Lane churned toward Hawaii, a state of emergency was declared across the state. On the Big Island, nearly 2 feet of rain had fallen in just 24 hours, and the slow-moving storm was still far offshore. Rivers and lakes were quickly inundated and began to overflow their banks. One resident hoped this would be the worst of it.
I've seen it get pretty raging before, and I don't feel like, I still feel like we're going to be blessed and like we're going to be okay.
But as Lane approached the islands, authorities said the coming deluge had the potential to be catastrophic.
We're extremely concerned about the potentials for inland flooding, landslides occurring, and damage to the transportation communications infrastructure.
Once a Category 5 monster, it's already been downgraded a bit and is expected to further weaken in the days to come, though it'll still pack hurricane-strength winds. It's also not expected to strike the islands directly. Unlike people on the mainland, most Hawaiians have no choice but to stay where they are and ride the storm out.
It is a little scary thinking we're on an island. We really are. It makes me feel for the people that live here.
Residents have been urged to stockpile at least 2 weeks' worth of food, water, and medicine. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
Last major storm to hit Hawaii was Hurricane Iniki, which caused about $3 billion in damage when it struck in '92. Wow.
I'm really glad I have to stockpile 2 weeks worth of food with a 19-year-old in the house.
Oh my goodness.
We'd have to move into the grocery store.
Yes, you would.
It's the only way this is going to work, buddy. So
Lean
those poor folks. We'll continue to follow the progress of that.
Currently a Category 3 storm. It's moving to the north at a brisk walk, 5 miles an hour at this point, and it is expected to make a little turn here very soon as you head into your Saturday morning. You see it just kind of dodges the island before weakening to a tropical storm as it gets back into some of that warmer water. Looks like our hourly air quality reports basically holding in the yellows and oranges, not particularly great, but improving possibly by the evening hours tonight for a short time. Temperatures into the 40s and 50s, 34 this morning in West Yellowstone. Bit of a breeze setting up, still a lot of smoke, a lot of haze. There's an isolated chance of a thunder shower. We'll talk about those chances coming up on the Billion Auto Weather Patio in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Matt. 6:33 now on this Friday. Some local news. A boy recuperating this morning after being injured by a bear in Yellowstone National Park yesterday. Incident happened on the Divide Trail southeast of Old Faithful. 10-year-old boy was with his family when they encountered a bear as it charged out of vegetation. Boy ran away, but the bear chased him down and knocked him to the ground. His parents were able to use bear spray and effectively got the bear away from their son. Family was able to walk back to the trailhead, drove to the Old Faithful Ranger Station, and then took the boy to the nearby clinic. He suffered an injured wrist, puncture wounds to his back. It is unknown what species the bear was who attacked the boy. Spring Creek and Divide Trails are currently closed in the park. And staying in Yellowstone, an Oregon man seen in a viral video taunting a bison in Yellowstone National Park has been sentenced to 130 days in jail. 55-year-old Raymond Ranke pleaded guilty to multiple charges related to the incident when he was captured on video taunting a bison on a road in the Hayden Valley. He initially pleaded not guilty to all charges, but changed his plea yesterday in Yellowstone District Court in Wyoming.
And a Crow Agency man previously sentenced to 30 years in prison for killing his uncle is now a free man. 38-year-old Quinton Burden Ground Jr. had already served 15 years of the murder of Emerson Pickett. Burden Ground was sentenced in 2003 after he walked into his ex-girlfriend and Pickett and pulled out a gun and fired. The bullet went through the woman's hand, striking and killing Pickett. Now in June, the U.S. District Court Judge Susan Waters ruled that Burden Ground's level of intent did not meet a specific legal threshold of crime of violence, which triggers a harsher sentence. She resentenced him to 14 years for the second-degree murder and the assault on his girlfriend. The 15 years he served count towards his new sentence.
In other statewide news, a man and a woman are facing aggravated kidnapping charges in Great Falls, along with a string of other charges after allegedly holding a victim hostage. Officers were dispatched on reports of a suspicious vehicle at a town pump. Upon arriving, Great Falls PD made contact with the victim, who says 28-year-old Owen Hawley pointed a gun at him and told him to get in the truck. Victim ran away due to fear of a previous incident 2 days prior. According to court documents, on August 20th, Hawley, along with 25-year-old Tisha Lee and 2 others, held the victim captive in a detached garage in the 2800 block of 2nd Avenue South. Again, this is in Great Falls. Hawley gave Lee a handgun, told her to, quote, "You know what to do if he tries to leave," end quote. Court documents state while being held captive, the victim was repeatedly hit by Lee with a baseball bat and brass knuckles. Victim managed to escape a few hours later. Search warrant was obtained and executed on a residence and garage where the brass knuckles and bat were recovered. Hawley is charged with 2 counts of aggravated kidnapping, 2 counts of assault with a weapon and theft. Lee is charged with assault with a weapon and aggravated kidnapping.
In other news, Montana Tech in Butte is teaching its incoming freshmen the importance of honesty. MTN's John Amy tells us how a cheating scandal at the university led to its new policy.
More than 200 students at Montana Tech spent an hour-long class called Academic Integrity, which teaches them how unethical it is to cheat in class.
All the research is kind of coming out saying that college students, particularly undergraduates, do commit academic dishonesty. And one of the reasons they do it is because they feel like everyone else is doing it. So it's this culture that is created.
This program is designed to show students that there are consequences to cheating, even after school.
We've had issues in Montana with some of our reps who got in trouble for plagiarism on their master's thesis, right? There have been faculty members who have been accused of, forgery and things like that. Their career is ruined.
In the summer of 2016, the administration uncovered a highly organized cheating operation, which resulted in the expulsion of 15 students. After that, the university decided they needed to take action.
We revised our academic integrity policy. I was one of the lead architects on it last year, and so it rolled out last July. And so we're trying to be proactive in conveying the information they need to know.
And hopefully teach students to earn good grades the old-fashioned way. Hard work and study. In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
Imagine that. And this program was one of several that students are going to be attending during Montana Tech's orientation week before classes begin next week. And new students at Montana Tech also got a little exercise yesterday during the orientation activities. Dozens of students hiked to the top of Big Butte to the Big M, located right next to campus. The steep climb is a part of several activities to help students get familiar with the campus and to meet other students along the way. Now, by the way, the Big M was built by Tech students back in 1910.
Now, east of the Divide, MSU began welcoming new students on Wednesday for move-in day at the residence halls. The welcome continued yesterday with Catapalooza. Catapalooza, an event put on every year at the university to introduce students to the different opportunities that are available on campus.
I think Catapalooza is a really great way for community organizations and campus organizations to come together to show what MSU and Bozeman has to offer, which is a really unique opportunity for the whole community of Bozeman. It's just super exciting to see everyone happy about MSU and excited getting the Bobcat spirit out and alive in the community.
By the way, Catapalooza will also be happening again today from 10 to 3 p.m. on campus.
Very fun. And a very popular dog park in Bozeman will be seeing some new additions. MTN's Mallory Peoples visits a regional park to show us what dogs and their owners can expect.
This is Anderson Park, and it's named after its largest donor. Pretty much everything you see, touch, or sniff here at the park is because of donations gathered by Run Dog Run.
If you want to see a happy dog, come here.
He thinks he's died and gone to heaven, I think.
Jill Glockner stumbled upon the park this week while dropping off her daughter for college.
I mean, yes, we love our dogs in Chicago, but nobody's done this, so I think you win.
When she learned improvements are coming, this was her response.
How How do they make it better?
Run Dog Run, the nonprofit behind the plans, says the biggest change is adding an irrigation system. For the past 2 years, all 64 trees within the 13-acre park have been hand-watered and mostly fenced off.
That's the first domino to fall that will allow us to open up interior trails to get to the trails and bridges that we have here.
Additionally, there's trees being planted around the brand new shelters, providing shade on those dog days of summer. Plus, there will be paths connecting the shelters and a mowed grass area for fetch play. But until these updates are completed in the next few weeks, the main pond is where you'll find most dogs, even if they don't swim.
She's a Portuguese water dog, so they're supposed to love the water. They were raised to help fishermen in Portugal, and she would fail miserably, so.
Swimming or not, there's plenty of happy dogs, and soon there will be plenty more space to play.
In addition to all the improvements already mentioned, there's also going to be restrooms and a parking lot. That, however, will come from the county. Reporting from Bozeman, I'm Mallory Peebles, MTN News.
Very exciting stuff there.
We just hope the little restrooms don't look like fire hydrants. No, it's going to be cool. The work that's been going on down there for years, it's awesome.
That'd actually be hilarious if that's how they were.
The shelters are cool. They look like a doghouse. The shelters, if you look at them, they're in the shape of like Snoopy's doghouse. They're absolutely awesome. It's a cool park. It's really cool.
Chet, I love it. We do have to take a quick break, but stay with us. When we return, we take a look at the Catholic sexual abuse scandals that have been rocking the globe. In a moment, we head to Ireland with the story of a young boy and one of the country's most notorious predator priests.
But first, we're going to head to New York, check in with John Dickerson to see what's coming up at 7 o'clock on CBS This Morning.
Good morning ahead on CBS This Morning. We're on Hawaii's Big Island, where the rain came from Hurricane Lane. More than 1.5 feet fell, and flooding is expected to get worse. And we're there to watch an undercover raid as federal agents bust a marijuana operation in a national forest. How the illegal crop created a toxic waste dump. We'll see you at 7.